Gervonta Tank Davis. Let Shakur Stevenson. Devin Haney know y'all ain't built like that, bro. What is the biggest fight in boxing? I'm having this conversation with y'all today because yesterday, people in the sport of boxing that I have a lot of respect for had some different opinions, right? Leonard Ellaby thinks that Canelo Alvarez versus David Benavidez is bigger than Canelo Alvarez versus Terrence Crawford. BFTB thinks Tank Davis versus Devin Haney is the biggest fight that Tank Davis could have. And so I've been thinking on this shit, bro. And I want to talk about it and break it down. So smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, share the video, turn on your notifications. Live Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday night. Also live Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. And I ask you to join the channel as a member. Drop super chats when you come by the live streams. And if you want to debate, knockoutboxing86@yahoo.com is the email address. You can also just pull up to the channel when I'm live. The link is always in the chat. Let's get to it. So, first let's talk about Canelo Alvarez, bro. Let's talk about Canelo Alvarez. What is his biggest fight? Names that come to mind, obviously, Canelo Alvarez versus David Benavidez, a Canelo Alvarez versus Dimitri Bivol rematch, Canelo Alvarez versus Artur Beterbiev, Canelo Alvarez versus Terrence Bud Crawford. What are some things that makes a fight with Canelo huge? Obviously, his fan base, right? He's gonna bring a fan base. He got a baseline that he's gonna bring to the table every single time with the amount of tickets that he sell, with his pay-per-views. Canelo Alvarez at minimum throughout history, more recently, at minimum, you're getting 500,000 pay-per-view buys, regardless of who he fight. And at minimum, that live gate gonna be 15 million or above. It just is what it is. So what's gonna make that fight go to the next level, right? You got somebody like Terrence Crawford. What's going in his favor to have his fight with Canelo be bigger than what David Benavidez could do with Canelo Alvarez? Different fan base than Canelo. Black American fighter, Mexican fighter. Pound for pound level fighter. Top 3 in the world. I got him number 1. And he's been on pay-per-view before. He had success with Earl Spence. He's one of the bigger names in boxing. So that would be a huge, big fight. A huge, big fight. There's one key thing I think missing, and as to why I'm on Leonard Ellaby's side of this, and that is this, bro. Unless you are the die-hard Terrence Bud Crawford fans, or somebody in boxing that's one of his knob gobblers, so Andre Ward, right? Tim Bradley. There's a lot of people that feel like there's no point to the fight and Bud Crawford has no chance, which hurts the marketability of the fight because he'd be coming up 3 weight classes in one fight. Fought at 147, right? Just had his first fight at 154 and then will be jumping up 2 more weight classes to fight Canelo Alvarez, and he's 37 years old. You got a guy 40 years old, hasn't been active, or almost 40 years old, hasn't been active, coming up 3 weight classes in 2 fights. What will really hurt that fight is people outside of Terrence Bud Crawford, diehard fans, are gonna have a hard time believing that he has an opportunity to beat Canelo Alvarez, bro. Enter David Benavidez. David Benavidez and Canelo Alvarez are both Mexican fighters, so they don't share a different fan base. But David Benavidez, with his performances over Demetrius Andrade, Caleb Plant, and guys like Vazda, Canelo Alvarez versus David Benavidez, I think is astronomically bigger than what Canelo Alvarez did with Edgar Berlanga, because David Benavidez brings something to the table that we haven't seen from Canelo Alvarez in a long time, and that is people feel like he can beat Canelo Alvarez. And when you feel like somebody can beat Canelo Alvarez, that's when you get them Triple G numbers, them Gennady Golovkin numbers. Now, obviously, Canelo lost to Dimitri Bivol, but leading up to that fight, no one thought Dimitri Bivol was going to beat Canelo Alvarez. You had a few, but the vast majority of fans, both diehard fans and casual fans, coming off Dimitri Bivol's subpar performance against Craig Richards, subpar performance against Salamov, people were like, oh, Canelo's coming up, you know, cherry picking Dimitri Bivol because he ain't look good. He think he about to get an easy ass belt. Turned out to be a cherry pick gone wrong. That's just the fact of the matter, bro. Leading up to a fight with David Benavidez, a lot of people will be picking David. And when you put Canelo in a position where people think he's going to lose, whether it be true or false, I'm not here to pick the fight right now. Whether it be true or false, he does numbers, bro. He does numbers regardless. Remember that baseline, 500,000, about a $15 million live gate. Easy. Easy, bro. You put him in there with somebody that you think gonna beat him, them numbers going through the roof. And Terrence Crawford, outside of his diehard fans, I don't think generally the public feels like he can do anything with Canelo because of the size difference. So I do think if you ask me to bet, I don't think Canelo can fight both of them, but I'd be willing to bet that Canelo and David Benavidez is a much bigger fight because you just look at the public demand for it, bro. The public demand for Canelo and David Benavidez is way higher than Canelo versus Terrence Crawford. Hell, a lot of diehard Terrence Crawford fans that I talk to even say, yeah, we want Canelo versus Benavidez first because Benavidez deserves to fight, and that's the fight I want to see first. But if he ain't fighting Benavidez and he gonna cherry pick anyway, then Bud is the better fight. I agree with that, by the way. I don't think that Bud Crawford, you know, will win the fight, but he definitely, if you gonna give me Canelo versus Berlanga or these damn Canelo versus Chris Eubank rumors and shit that I'm hearing, then give Bud a shot. Shit. He got a better chance than them motherfuckers. Shit. Real talk. So that's where I'm at on that. Now, for Tank Davis side of this, what's his biggest fight? My homie BF tends to think it's Devin Haney. I know he's a diehard Devin Haney fan. He gonna beat that Devin Haney drum to the end, bro, and I respect that shit. But there's no way, in my opinion, that you can say Devin Haney and Tank Davis is a bigger fight than Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia Part 2. Again, I ain't saying better. I'm not saying what I want to see more. I'm talking revenue, y'all. I've already seen Tank make Devin quit. Alright? So I don't think, I already seen Tank make Ryan quit, sorry. I already seen him make Ryan quit. So that is not a fight that I'm desiring. That's not a fight that I want. Right? But Tank versus Ryan 2 generates more money, does a better live gate, and does better pay-per-view numbers than Tank versus Devin Haney. Shit, Tank versus Shakur can rival Tank versus Devin. Shakur and Devin bringing the same shit to the table. Two black American fighters that don't sell a whole lot, that have attached themselves to Tank Davis. Difference is Shakur Stevenson is still undefeated. He's in Tank Davis' weight class, and a lot of people are low on Devin right now, bro. That's just a fact of the matter. Maybe in the future, Devin get back, beat a Ryan Garcia handedly, capture his belt. You know what I'm saying? Tank is taking care of Shakur. Devin finds a way to get the T.O. fight, beats T.O. ass, now we can have that conversation. But right now, November 21st, 2024, Devin Haney is not the biggest fight for Gervonta Tank Davis, bro. His stock is lower than it's been. Now, if you want to have an argument about why it's lower and all of that shit, you know, conspiracy theories, they blackballing them, Ryan Garcia cheating them, whatever reasons you want to give it, bro, I'm not here to say that. I'm just simply saying that I have my opinions on it, but that ain't what this video about. So I'm trying to stay away from that because I can make this video an hour long. Y'all know your boy can cook. But what I'm saying is his stock is low right now. So him versus Tank is not anywhere as big as him. His stock is not as high as Shakur right now. Hell, I'd argue his stock right now is not as high as Keyshawn's right now. Maybe in the future, maybe you can try to make that argument back in 2023 when he was at his peak. But right now, I don't think so, bro. They share the same fan base, right? No one's demanding the fight right now, like we was talking Canelo and David earlier. That fight is being demanded left and right. No one's demanding this fight right now between those two. People are talking Tank Shakur, Tank and motherfucking Keyshawn, right? So for a kind of black on black crime, so to speak, for lack of a better term, those fights right now have more buzz and more traction than Tank versus Devin Haney, and they ain't even in the same weight class right now. Then you get to thinking about just demographics, because Tank already got the black American fan base, bro. Like, they buying. He's the only black American fighter in and around his weight class that's doing the numbers that he's doing, and ain't nobody even close. No one's even close to him, fam. Nobody. So when you look at things that'll make a big fight for him, because he brings the baseline, not as good as Canelo. His baseline right now at this point in his career, after what we've seen with Frank Martin, his baseline is probably 350,000 pay-per-view buys, no matter who we fighting. In the live gate, 10 to 15 million, no matter who we fighting. Lamont Roach, they doing about 350, maybe a little higher off of the viral knockout of Frank Martin, but they doing about 350 to 450, 450 on the high end, you know, exceeding expectations. And that live gate gonna be about $14 to $20 million live gate, bro. That's his baseline, regardless of who he fighting. What gets him over the top is gonna be somebody that brings a different fan base, and somebody that people feel like have a chance to beat him. Right now, the general public doesn't feel like Devin Haney has a chance to beat him. A lot of people feel like Shakur does, though. That fight does great numbers. A lot of people don't feel like Devin Haney has a chance to beat him. Some people are stupid enough to believe Keyshawn does, and Keyshawn is buzzing right now. I think that fight could be right there with Devin in terms of the size of it. And then don't even get me started on Lomachenko with a whole country behind him. Like, Devin Haney and Lomachenko did 150,000 pay-per-view buys. Ukraine is at war. The Ukrainians supported the shit out of Tyson Fury when he was fighting Alexander Usyk. Do you have any idea how the Ukrainian people and the Ukrainian Americans that are here in America, do you have any idea how much they will support Loma if this goddamn Tank and Loma fight gets announced, bro? That fight is going to be massive. Absolutely massive. Then Teofimo bringing the Latino crowd. Ryan Garcia too, bringing his people back, his little crazy ass fans back and shit. It's a lot of fights that you could argue could be bigger than Tank and Devin Haney. Now, if you want to have a conversation about what fight do I think is the most meaningful, what fight do I think means the most for the culture, obviously it's going to be Tank versus any of his contemporaries that look like him, that had the same type of demographic supporting him that he had. So, you know, Tank versus Shakur, my channel will be buzzing because I attract the majority of the people that look and act and talk like me. So two black fighters with a big name, you know, Knockout Boxing 86 TV going crazy. Tank Davis versus Devin Haney, with all the debates that I've had about Tank and Devin and all the Devin fans that come by my channel and some that have stopped coming by my channel. If that fight gets announced, Knockout Boxing 86 TV channel going crazy. But globally, throughout America, Tank versus Tio. Tio keep winning and doing what he is right now. Tank versus Teofimo, that's 1 million pay-per-view buys probably, bro. Tank versus Ryan part 2. Ryan build himself back up, get some wins, stop looking crazy. 1.5 million pay-per-view buys. And Tio I could have overestimated. We'll say 700 to 800,000 pay-per-views probably, bro. And go look at my track record for predicting this shit. I've been kind of spot on with these numbers though that I be predicting. So you can take it with a grain of salt. The biggest fights for guys like Tank and Canelo are going to always be at the top of the list. Fights that people feel like they can lose. And then you get into the demographics of the fight. Do they share the same fan base? Do they have a different fan base? Does the other person fight, or not the demographics, the logistics of the fight, the market of the fight, right? Do they share the same fan base, or do they share a different fan base? Is the other person a star in their own right? Are they doing good live gates? Are they doing good pay-per-views? What's their fan base like? Then you get into that. But first and foremost, what is going to make a fight huge for superstars like Tank and Canelo is, do the fans generally believe that the person they're fighting has a chance to beat them? And in the case of Canelo, that's David Benavidez over Terrence Crawford. In the case of Tank Davis, right now, that is Shakur Stevenson. That is perhaps a Keyshawn Davis. That is a Teofimo. That is a Lomachenko. Because their recent performances, Loma knocking out the dude Devin couldn't knock out. Shakur undefeated, unified, multiple division champion. Keyshawn Davis coming out of a masterful performance against Gustavo Lemons. Right? Teofimo Lopez, lineal 140-pound WBO champion. In comparison to Devin Haney, no contest with Ryan Garcia, in a fight that you can see him get put down multiple times. The same Ryan Garcia that Tank Davis made quit. Dropping his belt, right? His stock ain't where he's at, where those other fighters I mentioned is at. Maybe he can get back to there. I hope that he does, because to me, that's the most meaningful fight. That's the one deep down I want more than all of these ones I'm mentioning. But I got to respectfully say, I don't believe that Devin Haney is the biggest fight for Gervonta Tank Davis right now. We can have this conversation maybe again in 2025 when we see how he bounces back. But right now, stock too low, coming off a horrible performance. He gonna have to make people remember who he is and start demanding that fight again. Because right now, you know, it's on that Roy Jones shit. Y'all must have forgot. That's what it is right now with Devin. A lot of people forgot, bro. A lot of people forgot. He gonna have to remind people, because right now, the general public, they ain't mentioning him with Tank really, bro. They ain't mentioning him at all. People talking about everything else right now. Just go look. People talking about Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. The fuck going on with Tank Davis and Lamont Roach? Shakur Stevenson, Williams Zepeda. David Benavidez, David Morrell. That's what people on right now, bro. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Comment below, smash like, sub to the channel, bro. We live tonight. See y'all soon. Peace. Gervonta Tank Davis. Let Shakur Stevenson. Devin Haney know y'all ain't built like that, bro.